We want to avoid pain and we want to steer our loved ones from it. We don't want that for them. But is it okay to say that there is a gift in grief? Hey, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Feeling strong, my friend.
Strong over there.
I'm feeling strong enough. You?
Oh, strong enough.
Strong enough.
I feel great. How's it been going?
It's been going. It's been a while.
It's been
1 month since we recorded this.
It has been a hot minute, my friend.
Just a hot minute. But glad to be here.
Yes.
Glad to be with you.
Yes.
Ready for some
Same.
opinions and
Opinions.
some
Love
thoughts,
opinions.
some inspiration.
Should we explain where we've been for a little bit? It has been a little bit over a month, and normally we wouldn't take off like that.
Yeah, this is not the norm.
So
where
we've been?
Well, we pride ourselves on having a regular podcast.
Lots of pride
So,
here
yeah.
on the NQT.
And we don't want to blame summer and say, okay, we all went on vacation and
We kind of did that last
gone.
episode, actually, so we have a new thing to blame.
Yeah. What are we blaming today? I think life has its curveballs. Life has some ups and downs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We've seen a few.
There's been a lot over the past 5 weeks. In full transparency, a lot. There's been loss. There's been grief. There's been medical things. There's been family stuff. There's been so much that we have literally not been able to get in the studio and record.
Yeah.
And in a way, that's really tough, but also might be encouraging to people because that's also life.
Yeah. Just to put maybe an underline on it.
Underline.
A
bold, if you
bold,
will. Squiggly.
An italic.
Oh.
Is that sometimes we feel like we don't have anything to offer. And that's how I felt with.
You mean on here?
Yeah. Like, you know what? This is going so off the rails right now. So many things are happening around. So many things that we're dealing with loved ones, with friends of ours, that it doesn't seem like it's a great time. And my thoughts definitely aren't gathered to where I could feel like I could.
It's funny.
Talk to you about anything.
We've both been experiencing things in our own worlds that we just legit couldn't do it. And so, if you if you're still with us listening, thanks for enduring our hiatus, so to speak. But also, surely you've been through seasons too, where it's just you don't have a regular 5 weeks. There's been nothing regular at all, like at all. But here we are, and also to talk about it and go through that stuff and encourage you. Maybe you're in the middle of a season or a week or a set of 5 weeks where life is just all over the place.
Yeah. And we're not talking about, or at least I don't think we're talking about just being busy either, where, you just have a lot. The school starting back up, a new season starting up, you working here at the church, my wife working here at the church. There's certainly a lot of things that are starting up around this time too, a lot of changes. And so,
a lot of take and bake pizzas.
Yeah.
A lot of takeout.
Yeah. Can we stop on that real quick?
Oh, sure. Here, hold on.
Yes.
Yeah, let's stop on that. What's up?
I don't understand the take and bake. Have you done the take and bake?
So do you not understand it for the same reasons I don't understand it? And are we about to have an old man rant?
Because
You're feeling strong, my
really
friend.
strong about the take and bake.
Now that we're talking again, I feel like we need to cover this.
Echo. Yelling.
Explain to me the value of a take and bake.
Okay.
Pizza.
Here we go. So for those of you who may not know what we're talking about, basically the place you go to spend money to pick up the raw pizza, to take home, to cook it, to eat it. And it's not a grocery store. It's like a restaurant.
So many things wrong with that.
You spend money. You spend more money than normal to take the items, to go cook it, and then you eat it.
These buzzers are going off in my head.
This drives me insane. Why?
So let's explore that real quick.
Okay.
Number one, you're going to a place to pick up pizza. That is not the best
recount
option.
it because when we say it, it's unbelievable when we're saying it.
I think we were born for delivery, right? I think that's
well, you
what
can
we
go pick it up.
You
but
can.
if it's cooked.
Yeah,
You're picking up the food.
less time. You're eating the
food.
pizza after you pick it up pretty quickly.
Yes.
You're not having to have a waiting period of
If I'm going to go pick up a pizza and cook it, that's just going to the store.
You're right. I love going to a pizza place and ordering a pizza and sitting down and eating the pizza.
Yeah, and get this, they make it.
Yeah. They make it for you.
Eat the edible pizza.
They're the experts. They bake it at the right degree.
Okay, so let's steel man the argument here. Okay. Let's say there's a person out there like, oh, hey, Mike and Chris, you guys are being crazy. You know what? It's probably just like maybe it's a little cheaper, more affordable here at Take and Bake. No, it's more than double the price. You're paying a premium to cook.
So I'm going to pay you for me to come in, get raw pizza ingredients on a pizza, and then I'm supposed to get it home, which is also, you're adding risk.
Oh, yeah.
Of getting it to the oven. And so there's time there.
Then you have to cook it.
Is anybody ever been excited when you walk in and say, hey, kids, I've got a pizza, and everybody say, hey, pizza, all right. But we have to bake it first.
But it means go fire up the oven. So I have literally had this conversation out loud in the car every time we've ever done this. And the joke's on us. We've done it like 5 or 6 times.
And I'm sure the pizza turns out pretty well, right?
And the pizza is fine. The pizza's, it's not the great. I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. It tastes good. But is it, what is the premium we're paying for?
Well, the marketing is kind of covering over that, saying, hey, it's take and bake pizza. It's fun. Everybody, you do it your way.
Is that what it is? You do it your way with your own button on your oven?
Button. To your oven's specifications. So I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it either.
But yeah.
Did you recently have the take and bake experience?
No, but I saw an advertisement for it, and I thought, why?
I don't understand.
Would I do
have you ever had it yet?
I haven't had it.
You should at least get ripped off one time in your life and go have a take and bake.
For me,
pizza.
it's frozen pizza with more.
Just one time. Go try it one time. Report back your findings. Maybe you will say it's the greatest pizza you've ever had. It was worth the premium cost.
Maybe was it worth the wait?
I'm going to tell you it's not.
Okay. Well, then we got
to move on. We're moving on.
Everybody, and if you love take and bake, great. Fine.
If you do, that's great. And enjoy your. Yeah, no, it drives me crazy. Let's move on. Okay, here we go. We covered take and bake.
Yeah.
We've been sitting on that for a while.
Well, Mike,
5 minutes. Oh, hey, Chris.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay,
I know there's some meat that we're getting into here.
We're going to have one more quick old man rant.
Okay,
I'll go faster than take and bake.
All right, let's go.
When you're in mid-conversation with someone like we are right now, what constitutes the time you bring up the name again? Because when we're talking and you go, oh, hey, Mike, I'm like, yeah, man, we've established names plenty of time ago. Why are we repeating the names?
It's a respect thing.
Is it respect?
It is.
Are you sure it's not like you forgot the person's name? So
no, I think a person loves to hear their name. It's actually one of the things that they feel like that belongs to them. And so I'm acknowledging the fact that, hey, I know your name. There's value in your name.
So I'm just going to keep saying it.
And even though you're the only one in the room here, I'm going to make sure you know.
Chris, thank you for that respect. When I hear someone repeat my name like that,
you feel in trouble.
It actually sounds disrespectful is the wrong word. It sounds like, why are you saying it again? I'm right here. I'm right here. No, I'm more like, I'm here. Yes, we've established names. I know, especially if it's like 2 people.
Would you like a nickname instead?
We'll no. Let's move on.
Just give me a nickname. I'll call you.
We covered take and bake. We covered repeating names. Here we go.
Yeah. So
what are we really actually going to talk about?
It's the challenge, I would say, of watching others go through things and not knowing exactly what to say or what to do in the moment that I think has occupied my thoughts. You mentioned a little bit of what we've seen. And, watching a family member lose somebody, me losing somebody, that kind of loss where you don't have any answers and you don't know what to do. You can't make it feel any better. You feel limited in that's just, we'll take that as probably the flagship, I would say, of a situation where it's really hard to navigate. What am I supposed to do here? How am I supposed to help? While also going through some of your own feelings as well. So,
which is hard, right? Like, I mean, what I think we're tempted to, we probably with good intentions, we want to say the right things. We probably want someone to feel better. We're trying to comfort someone, right? And we're talking whether it's loss, sickness, hospital visits, trips like that, broken hearts, things like that. I would say there's a lot here. We're probably going to have to unpack at different aspects of this. I think typically the first thought is, I want this person to feel better.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do blank or say blank, right? Is that kind of how you feel? Is that like the initial,
I think so. You definitely don't want to say the wrong thing, and you definitely don't want to act in a way that is going to make it harder. You know that life has to move on. Things have to get done. But there is grieving, and there are things that just aren't going to be the way that they were before because there's adjustment. And what seemed important might not be as important now. So a lot of things are changing in that time. And you have to, number one, go along with the flow, it seems.
Sure. And
then also be very caring, being very intuitive of, what's going on with who it's affecting the most. Well, also trying to decide what to do from there too. Like what does this mean going forward? So there's a lot of moving parts. And
what's come easy for you, or what's been like a challenge for you in that?
What's come easy for me has been more of just memories, remembering good times, things like that, bringing those front and center. Losing a loved one, there's a lot to go through. There's a lot to, fortunately, I feel like God has blessed me with a good recall. And so I've been able to talk about, this time or these things that made us laugh.
Yeah.
So those kind of things are easy to share.
Yeah. Sure.
The hard part is seeing the hurt and seeing the, you can't do anything about the tears. You can't do anything about the, just the grief that's going on. You can't change that for the person. And so,
it helps me to think through like a couple examples, so if I think through, let's say loss or like hospital as one bucket, and then maybe broken heart, save that one for a different, it's just different. They're practically different. Because it's one of those things, and sometimes it's hard unless you've had experience like in that realm, whether it's a visit or you've had it happen to you, or you've had those things happen to people close to you. Is you're never going to walk in and say the perfect phrase, right? Like and if you've ever been on the receiving end of that, I think you know what that means, right? Like someone. And you're not even looking for someone to say the perfect phrase.
Yeah.
And so I think it helps me when I'm walking into those environments where I'm thinking about it, going, okay, I know that can't be an answer. So then you're like, so what do you do? Also, leaving someone alone on the island and not seeing them or talking to them, well, that's not an answer either.
Yeah.
And so there's always this mix of, at least what I'm thinking is, what can I help contribute? And then what has helped me on the receiving end? And, there's a lot of different ways to phrase it, and people talk about it a lot, but I think a lot of it is just ministry of presence. It's just sometimes just physically being there.
Yeah.
And you don't have to say anything.
With nothing to offer, right?
I mean, what do you have to offer? Like, someone's they're grieving or they're healing and they're processing, maybe you offer a hug, offer an arm around them, but you're not going to say something where they go, oh, I am 100% better and I'm not grieving anymore.
So what is that pressure sometimes we feel? Because I certainly feel it when it's like, oh, I have to get in here and I have to make this better for somebody, which
I think it's good intentions. Like we want them to get, you don't want your friends or family to hurt. You want to help. Sometimes I also think we're just uncomfortable with the presence. And so we're like, hey, like it's going to be okay. Yeah. And we want them to move along faster, not always necessarily for our benefit, but I think we're uncomfortable. I think it's hard to sit there kind of in the silence.
Mm-hmm.
And then what helps me is when I think about when I've been on the receiving end, I, for the most part, can't really even process what other people are telling me anyway, because I'm in the middle of the grief. So it's kind of like it's a little blurry. I can't really see straight anyway, but I know you're around me.
Yeah. So the presence helps you.
That's all that really mattered, because I don't know how to handle the next 5 minutes if I'm the person grieving.
Yeah.
So it's just you're with me.
Were there any words that did cut through to you that helped you, and how were they said that, or what was said that was actually helpful to you during a time like that?
So maybe a couple of things that have been helpful and a couple of things I think that are probably not helpful. I feel like you can tell when someone really feels something with you. Just someone looking at you. Sometimes you don't have to say a word. You just look at them and hug them. Sometimes just I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else, but it's genuine. I think as people, we have a pretty good radar on when things are fake. Just in general. So the most effective times have probably been the least amount of words. And then here's like a kicker on a bad part. And this sounds really counterintuitive. So, we're followers of Jesus. So someone may come in and go, oh, you know what? It's great. God's working all things for the good. Okay. So we've talked about this before. That's true. Of course that's true. And God's on his throne. Yes. No one's arguing that. But it can be said. You can say that with an insensitivity.
Yeah.
So someone loses a child and you come in and you say that right away. Is it still true? Yes, but I think it lacks a lot of empathy. And for the most part, a lot of people already know that truth, but that's not in that moment.
Right.
I don't think always what they need.
It's hard to take that in, I would say, when you're thinking about, okay, well, this loved one, as you have memories with them, you're thinking, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to see them at Thanksgiving or Christmas time, or, that's all changed. And so at that time, getting that message of everything's worked out for the good, you're thinking, no, everything's...
Yeah, you're kind of like, no, it's not all good. In fact, my world just got destroyed. It feels tone deaf is what, and I would say it feel, this is the hard needle to thread. It feels tone deaf. Is it still accurate? And is there comfort to be found that God is still in control? All that actually is a yes. And that actually, I think, brings healing over time. But in the moment, it feels incredibly insensitive. Like you're missing the room. You're not feeling the vibe. Yeah. Just be with someone. Yeah. At least in my experiences, like on the receiving end and on the being there for other people, it sure seems like there's some type of consensus here in something like that. Is that how you've experienced that stuff too?
I would say so. And also, and just thinking about times where, it has been best for my words to be very few in those times.
Yeah.
But the hugs to be plentiful.
Yeah.
The time spent just by the side without really saying much, or even just admitting, yes, this is terrible. This is, sitting with them, and as they're talking or as they're crying, saying that this is hard, and just
like validating
sharing the truth, validating the truth of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that tends to keep that, whatever you want to call. I know people's hearts are they want to do something. They want to help. They want to bring scripture in, and they know that scripture from a head value there is, what's needed.
Sure.
But you're right. But if it's not done in the moment, reading the room, reading the situation with empathy, then, that kind of falls flat.
Which I think is hard. And sometimes you bring a friend with you and do things like that. I would say sometimes we're a little too overwhelmed or nervous. So we tell ourselves, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. So I'm not going to show up.
Yeah.
And my encouragement would be, you would really be surprised by saying nothing and just sitting there. Even visiting someone in the hospital, you can stay in the waiting room. It's okay.
As uncomfortable as it is.
Just be there.
Being there.
And you will experience people who will go, thank you. Yeah. And you're going to be thinking, well, I didn't say anything. Well, you didn't need to say anything. Yeah. The ministry of presence, I haven't been doing ministry for, forever, for like 50 years. But man, I had 7 or 8 out of 10 times presence is just what matters.
Yeah. You don't need any qualifications for it either. There's not.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you show up, and I think being open to what God may want to do through you as a Christian, to say, I don't have the words. I don't have the actions here. I don't know what to say. I may not even have the scripture.
Yeah. Sure.
So,
sure.
What can I do? And but I know you and we went to a hospital visit last week. And I think leading up to that, as we were having dinner before we went, we were thinking, we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know how we're going to be. We don't even know if we're going to be able to see the person.
Sure.
Yeah. So being open like that. But I think walking away from that and having spent time with you, having spent time there visiting and just getting to be, that felt like God was in the middle of all of it and had us doing what it is that he would have us do. Yeah. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I do. I'm guilty sometimes of walking away from those moments, and I overanalyze them, like almost like, okay, how'd that go? And was that supportive, and was that helpful? And I even have to remember to, again, there's no phrase. It's not about that. And anytime, if you think of when you've been hurt yourself, you have never been interested. I'll speak for me. I have never been interested one time in my life when I've been hurt or I'm grieving. I've never been interested in, man, I wish someone had the right phrase. I've never thought that. I've never been looking for it. You're just moving through life, trying to hold on to the Lord and cope through whatever it is you're going through. And for the most part, I feel like sometimes I've had like tunnel vision in those moments when I'm going through the grief. So I can't see much anyway. And so I'm only going to be able to see people who are really close to me, and they're just with me.
Yeah.
And I'll talk when I'm ready, and I probably just need you to listen. And like you said, I've been guilty of filling in the void with too much talking or a joke or something like that. And I don't know, sometimes maybe humor is a little helpful. But more often than not, listening.
Yeah.
This goes into broken hearts too. That's a whole nother side to this, whether we're talking about grieving or to your kind of question, like, what do you say in those moments?
Whenever there's an opportunity for hurt, that there's an opportunity for us to either get in there and really mess it up, or actually get in there and, offer some words or just presence.
Yeah.
That is helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. We had, a nice parenting moment on. So when we first had kids, or when Joelle was pregnant, I just went around and asked a bunch of guys, hey, give me parenting advice.
Yeah.
And I had multiple ones tell me to don't forget, your kid's reality in their moments. So like, for example, a 5-year-old who runs out of goldfish is genuinely hurt they ran out of goldfish. So the adult is going to be like, well, you ran out of goldfish. Who cares? You get some more later. It's no big deal. It's like, whatever. It's a snack, or stop throwing a fit or whatever. But if you're the 5-year-old, you are genuinely, your day maybe even your month or your life in that moment was all about the goldfish. And so to run out or to lose them, imagine how that would actually feel. It feels ridiculous. It even feels silly when I say it. But to that 5-year-old, that reality is crushing, which it sounds silly, but if you think about it and stop for a second, that's a crushing reality if you're the 5-year-old. And I have tried to remember that over the years. And every now and then I have a successful conversation with one of our kids where I feel like I've kind of entered their world. More often than not, I think like an adult. I assume they should think like an adult. And I just kind of brush past that. Where we recently had something with one of our kids where they were brokenhearted. And it took me hours of a conversation to really feel it. And then, it took time. I had to slow down. I had to listen. I had to stop doing everything I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
It still took hours after I slowed down. And then I finally entered their world. And the emotions and the empathy took over. And it's like I felt what they felt. And the response I got 2 seconds into that moment, it was almost like someone looking at you and they're like, that's all I needed. I'm good now.
Yeah.
You connected with me.
Yeah.
So of course it makes me think later, wow, I need to do that more often, like with my wife and with my kids and with my friends and anyone I'm pastoring or whatnot. It took so much time to get there. It's wild, actually. And then I'm like, man, I never do that. I never take enough time to listen, to slow down, to actually enter someone's world. And I think it's similar to the hospital. So I think that's really just what they're looking for that connection.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like you said, we can just get so far into our head and how we feel about it that it just puts too much of a filter up. Well, why don't they just see it my way?
Yeah.
Or let me shed some light into this dark situation. Sure. And it's really not. And one of the hardest things that I think is, we talked about this a little bit, just, outside of this, where embracing the hardship, like actually looking at it as this is something good that's happening, even though it hurts that person, it hurts me because it hurts that person. And knowing that that's life right there, that this is something that God is using to bring them closer to Him. And in that, there can't be anything bad with it. There can be certainly bad feelings, bad emotions, tough situations, things you don't want them to go through, things you don't want to go through, but they are growing in their relationship with God if they're letting Him come in and be the healer, where we don't have to be, where we don't have to have all the answers. We don't have to have all the healing. We don't have to provide the way that only God can. So
it's so hard though, because it's like, I agree with you. And that's exactly been the story of my life. And I wouldn't replace my hardships. But there's a struggle I have that I'm okay with what you just said for me. Like, it's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like if I was in a car wreck and I'm by myself, I'm okay. But if you tell me that truth and now tell me to apply that to my kids or my wife or friends, and I have to let them go through that hardship. That's really hard for me.
Very. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And I think we want to avoid it. And I think that's what gets us talking about.
Yeah.
Let's get over the hardship. We don't want to deal with the hardship. We don't want to be in the middle of it. Let's move on. And so that's hard to let go. It really is. But
it really is, to your point, it is how we grow. Like, it's the best. We learn so much through those moments, and we really do run to the Lord, and maybe we run to other things, but in this example, we run to the Lord and we grow and get stronger. And I have to remember, as a dad and as a husband and as a friend, not only is that the best thing for them, it's also still the best thing for me to trust the process with them and not jump in to be the hero.
Yeah.
But man, watching watching, sitting with one of your kids, for example, with a broken heart, when you really feel it and slow down and you break with them, you just, man. And also, what are you saying? That there's something to say. It's a hug. It's one of your, what'd you call it? Plentiful hugs. It's one of your hugs, and you just sit with them and hold them, and things will get better. But do you slow down enough? I want to slow down more often to connect in those moments with people.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's for their good, you know it, and you don't want them to have to go through that continuously. And, but as I've seen, even with, my wife and my daughter, even my mom, with, things that they have to deal with or fight with on a regular basis, that on the other side of that, they are growing. They are becoming closer with the Lord. And the best thing that I know that I can give, and it really should be a comfort to us all too, is that there is no limit on the supply of prayer that we can give. And that we can, that God is promising to be near to us when we call out his name. Yeah. When we call out his name on behalf of those that we love, on behalf of those that we want to see things better for, then it's heard. Yeah. It is heard. It may not be in the timing that we want. We want, comfort as quickly as possible as we get discomfort, right? Sure. But we can ask, and we can ask all the time. Yeah. Throughout the day. Yeah. There's no limit to it.
You make a great point on, you look at someone and you don't want them to be in pain or hurt. And they might still have to go through a process. Obviously, life is hard. And then, I can't actually mend the broken heart. I can't actually heal the physical sickness, and I can't bring someone back from the dead. Right. But, God can heal broken hearts and heal sickness, or take someone to heaven. And actually, God really can actually do those things that we are unable to do. And so it does kind of beg the question, how often do we go to prayer for those things? And it's just ironic, because I think I will enter into someone's world later because I'm impatient, or I'll go too fast. Or you'll bring up something like prayer, and I'll be like, oh yeah, why aren't we praying? So it's funny that like the things that are typically the most effective, we do last, if we do them at all. And so it just kind of makes me think, it made some encouragement. I mean, me or to you or anyone, like pray faster, but slow down more often, like connect more often. But then go to the one who actually has the ability to do these things that we're wanting to happen in the first place.
It's counterintuitive, isn't it? We tend to want to really rely on what we have and our capacity, but here you are with the ability to communicate with an all-knowing, all-loving, all-seeing, all-powerful God, and why would we be remiss to not do that more often than not? So and I think, we've seen that. I'll speak for myself, but over the past, month or so, where I haven't had the words, maybe I've felt during those times too, I don't have the perfect prayer to ask, because I don't know what it is that, God, that you would even want for that person right now. I don't know what you're doing. And so, but that shouldn't matter, right? I could still.
No, that's a beautiful prayer in its own, because that's just honest. Mm-hmm. I do think we often avoid prayer in those moments because we think we don't have the thing to say. But I just think sometimes the most God honoring prayer is like, God, I don't know what to say or do right now. So can you please help? Yeah. And you don't have to say anything else. Like God is not God who goes, oh, Chris, I can't believe you didn't pray the proper formula. How dare you? And how dare you come to me? If anything, he's wanting you to come to him more often. And we're the ones who think we got to clean up our act. And he's like, I know you. I know you more than you know yourself. I already know what you're thinking. just talk to me.
Yeah. I wonder if he, when we start putting on some higher prayer language there,
Seriously.
if he says, why are you talking like
Dude,
that?
there's a whole topic there on, would you not think the same thing? I think that with our kids and whatnot, if they came to me and they're like, oh, hello, Father, how are you? I'd be like, what are you doing? Like,
How art thou, Father?
Yes, seriously.
Yes.
He already knows what you're thinking. So why not be honest? And grief is full of, God, I just need you. I have nothing. And so I'm breathing. I'm right here.
Yeah.
I have nothing. And I seriously think the Lord's like, here I am.
Here's another thought. There's going to be a day where we, as believers, we know that we don't have to have that kind of conversation with him at all, right? There won't be any lack. There won't be any sadness. There won't be any tears. There won't be any grieving, any loss. And so those days are going to go away. But while we have things here on this side, life to live here, people to live it with, people to be with, people to encourage, people that encourage us, that's our greatest asset right now, is to be able to pray.
Yeah.
And I'll raise my hand first, is that I let that go by and I squander that.
But even having conversations like this, right? Like it'll hopefully spur us on to do it more.
Maybe instantly too. Like when somebody is going through something, you're talking with them, whether you're texting, whether you're just across the room there,
across the pond,
across the universe.
You just do it.
You just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
What do you think is a good way to go out to encourage someone? This is a heavy topic, right? It's hard to connect with people on that deeper level. Grief is hard, whether you're someone who's been receiving it recently, like you've been the recipient of kind of what's going on, or like you're experiencing it, or you're helping provide support for someone going through it. How would you encourage maybe both of those sets of people?
Yeah. Make prayer the priority. Start there.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you're going to, if you're going to go visit somebody in the hospital, or you're just sitting with somebody, just ask God to come in and be in the middle of all of that. He knows. He knows what it's like to grieve. Think about Jesus with the situation with Lazarus.
Yeah.
He was broken up by the fact that, and he knew what was going to happen. He knew he was going to raise him, yet it pained him so much. And a lot of that pain, it's probably easy to at least surmise that it was because of the hurt that others had in losing him as well.
Sure.
And so he knew that there were going to be tears. He knew that there was going to be grief. And even though he knows or knew the story, he was also overcome. And that as he sees us here, as we have a relationship with him and he sees us going through grief, sure, it's not fun.
Oh, sure.
But there's that assurance that I know he has and that he gives to us, that things are going to be better one day.
Yeah.
And things are going to turn, and we're going to see, we will be there.
I like that, because he felt those real emotions, right? He wasn't faking it. And he genuinely slowed down to connect with the people who also lost Lazarus, and didn't just steamroll them and go raise them up either. He still slowed down and connected. And then, of course, Jesus himself has gone through more grief personally than anything we can ever imagine, being on the cross. And so we have someone who truly, and you have someone, and I have someone, we all have someone truly who can sympathize with everything, anything we can experience here on this earth. And some things are super painful and terrible, that he can actually, we can have that connection with him that we so often want in people. And sometimes we think it's not out there. We can't find that connection with anyone. And he is the one to connect with.
Yeah. And I am thankful for that story too, because, in that you see him questioned, like, where were you?
Yeah.
Like, you knew this was going to happen. Where were you?
Yeah.
And knowing full well what he was about to do, but still being able to endure that. He will endure that question from us. We don't have to be happy with everything that's going on. We can be mad. We can be upset.
Yes.
David in the Psalms gives us so many examples of what are you doing? And, or I don't like this, or, I don't see how this is helping. And we get to also communicate that way.
Yeah.
With reverence.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good to just go in a tirade, and I think it keeps you further from how he's wanting to, to speak into your life. But
being honest,
honest.
he's good for it. He already knows what you're thinking anyway. So you might as well just be honest, and then we trust, and you move through it one day at a time. Sometimes it's 5 minutes at a time, and the trust is there that healing takes place. There are seasons, things will move forward, and even if that means moving forward is leaving this side of heaven. And like you said, there is a day. There is a day, like people, where a lot of this pain will not exist.
Yeah,
and we look forward to that. And also, you can still look forward to that and move through the days here.
And I hate even saying it this way because it's so counter to how we want to live life. We want to avoid pain, and we want to steer our loved ones from it. We don't want that for them. But is it okay to say that there is a gift in grief, and that grief, that gift, is the very fact that God is closer to us.
Yeah,
probably more than any other time.
Yes, yeah,
when we're calling on Him in those times.
Yeah, it's a good word. I have felt closer to the Lord throughout my life in my darkest and hardest moments, and so the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those crushed in spirit. And it's true. He really is. I can attest to that. I've seen that. You can attest to that. You've seen that.
And we know this is a heavier episode. I don't think that every episode is going to follow it in this manner, but that's where we've been. That's what we've been dealing with. That's why we've had a bit of an extended break, is that, I haven't known what to say, and I think you might agree too that it's been one of those things where
it has been, and here we are too. And also, this is life. There's ups and downs. We're laughing, and then we're crying, and then there's hard moments and great moments, and joy and trust. And an encouragement would be that wherever you are, you don't have to do what you're going through alone either. Whether you're experiencing grief or hardship, or you're walking with a friend. Send us a message, reach out, let us know how things are going, pray. Don't feel like you have to walk this alone, and remember, you don't have to have the perfect thing to say. It's just truly one step at a time. And we'll learn how to walk through a community and do this together and get through these things together.
Well, it's good to talk to you again.
Yes. Likewise, my friend.
Thanks so much for joining us. Please consider rating and reviewing our podcast and hitting subscribe on whichever platform you prefer. Remember to keep moving forward, because we're not quite there.